Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Bookeemonsters. My name is PK and it is Monday, January 1st. If you can believe it. The exciting thing about today is we get to start our new planners, start our new book journals, and it's a fresh start. If your organization in your previous journals didn't quite work out, this is a chance to see what you can do differently, which is a fun thing. But today we are here to look at the new releases. And on Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries, and there's lots of them. So I hope you had a good and safe New Year's Eve, the holiday weekend, and now you are just either watching it live or watching it later with a cup of coffee or tea or hot chocolate and are just relaxing today. Good morning, Mary. I've done that. I've watched two channels at the same time. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. We are going to be looking at the Cozy Mysteries. Quick announcement, no sprints tonight per usual. There are sprints tomorrow night, Tuesday, at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. All right. Isn't that pretty? I like that background. Let's put that on pause and go over here. And I'm going to get rid of the banner. It sounds like your baby's made it through the fireworks, Mary. That's good. Keo did too. It was mostly just, stop that infernal noise, I'm trying to sleep. But we had some big boomers. The house down the street, which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 houses down, is the party house now. The family just loves to do fireworks. And there were some big boomers that like shook the world. Like, yipes. We're outside city limits, so it is a free-for-all on July 4th and New Year's. Well, not so bad that last night. It was just that family. There were others around, but and you get to start a new book today. Oh, Nora Roberts. Good stuff. Were you able to go to the library on Friday? It was Friday, right? We have a new library that I haven't really gone to because I've been so digital rather than physical books. And now with Keo with me, excuse me, 24/7, I just can't do solo visits like that for long periods of time. He lets me go in and get groceries if it's a quick run in, but otherwise I wouldn't really want him to be alone in the car for too long. All right, let us go. So these are the mysteries, the cozy mysteries that are being released this week into the wild, so they say, but we will check the dates just to be sure. Death in the Village by Sophia Adams. I love this. Part of an Addie Smith mystery book. There's only one book, but it's part of it. Ooh. Is this a historical? It's only 106 pages. It is released this today. Years ago, the mysterious Earl of Lockton disappeared without a trace, and now new clues have surfaced about what may have happened to him. Meet Addie Smith, Scottish bakery owner, storyteller, jokester, and amateur detective. Stirling, 1643. Addie is working a normal day at the bakery when the gang of village children come in for treats, and they are debating what could have happened to the Earl of Lockton. The Earl was a gambler, engaged to be married with a mistress on the side, and he was a student of the magical arts. He may have gotten taken out due to his gambling debts, or perhaps a jealous love affair took a bad turn. Worst of all is a magical incantation may have went awry, leading to the Earl's demise. Addie sets her sights on the mysterious Earl of Lockton, and she teams up with the new captain of the guard, Nicholas Paris, to solve this cold case. Someone put this powerful Earl away, and they don't want him to be found. Will Addie and Nicholas be able to find the Earl without losing their own lives? Interesting concept, but why only 106 pages? That's, like an outline for it. Could be fleshed out. Come on, people. Yes, you got to the library to turn in the book because I thought there would be holds. Ah, nice, nice. Hi, Cajun. No pop-up, but got an email. I appreciate you coming here. I did have it. I did put it up on YouTube yesterday, but it was only yesterday. We are looking at cozy mysteries today. Let's see. Tea, coffee, murder. The Poisoner's Club by Ellen Barksdale. Book 5 in the series. Says 0 pages. Did come out today, though. It was meant to be a cozy evening at the Black Feather, but the atmosphere takes a chilling turn when one of the guests clutches his throat, gasping for breath, and topples off his chair. Natalie, the inn's owner, is in a state of shock until she finds out that the victim is part of the Poisoners Club, an assembly of approximately 24 pharmacists who gather annually in the quaint town of Earlsraven. Their convention promises an evening of amusement in the form of activities such as Guess That Side Effect, Pill Popping Bingo, and a crowd favorite, What's Your Poison? But the fun takes a dark turn. Natalie and her cook Louise must race against time to uncover the truth before more lives are endangered. That sounds fun. If murder can be fun. This one won't let me click on it. I've tried these before, and the author, it just doesn't go really anywhere. So this is The Evil That Men Do, number 21 in the Amy Hammond series by Tia Brown. Oh, another Midworth. This is books 7 through 9. By Matthew Costello and Neil Richards. This compilation contains episodes, they call these episodes 7 through 9. 418 pages. Double check. Yep. The Wrong Man. When young Ben Carter is found murdered in an alleyway one snowy night in Midworth, all the evidence points to his best pal. Harry and Kat become involved. Can they find the real culprit? Secrets on the Côte d'Azur. When Harry and Kat head south to the French Riviera, they look forward to dazzling parties, a shimmering sea, and wonderful food. But they soon find that the streets and alleyways of the Côte d'Azur hide secrets and danger of a most deadly sort. A distant voice. It's midsummer in Midworth, and a celebrated medium is in town with his lucrative supernatural show, raising suspicions. As the midsummer festivities intensify, Harry and Kat find themselves in a game of deception and clever tricks, where nothing is what it seems and everyone is a suspect. Now, this is how you do, if you're an author that's only going to write a book under 150 pages and release them that way. Yes, you're probably doing it frequently, but still, this is how you do it. You give the reader something of value. This is 418 pages individually, not so much. That's just my very opinionated opinion. Mary says, is it my imagination? Does it seem like some authors are getting lazy, or maybe it's both? And hi, Happy New Year, Cajun. Oh, Lottie, I spent all morning working on picking my series for SAS. Do not tempt me with more. We are here to enable. Resistance is futile. Cajun, hi, Mary. Happy New Year to you. Hope the corgis didn't get too scared with the fireworks. Yeah. Mary was able to get them to be asleep before the fireworks began in earnest. That is so good. If I don't, they're terrified. Yep, I know how that is. My 2 previous dogs were very much so. That is no fun. Okay. Yeah, I went on Goodreads already and set my goal. I was going to do like 52 books since I'm wanting to read more bigger books. Um, but I put 72, like 6 a month. There's so much to read. Missing Ingredient by Stella Dorn, 8th in the Sienna Monroe Cozy Mysteries, 227 pages. Good for that author. And it was released today. Sienna Monroe is settled in her new hometown south of Nashville. Surprisingly, the police chief publicly lauds Sienna's pro-level amateur sleuthing skills. That is different. He even seeks her help in identifying a trio of robbers hitting all local banks and businesses. Sienna has found the balance of running her boutique bakery while actively helping her local police. Then additional ingredients enter the mix. A blossoming dating relationship, a persistent stray puppy, and a shocking revelation of who is the mastermind behind the infamous robbery trio. Yeah, wouldn't that be different? The sheriff says, "Yes, please, interfere. Solve this for me." Death by theft. Cajun says, "Glad to hear that. Remember how freaked out my cats." That's right. You said last night they used to, all four of them would just glom onto you. Mom, mommy. More bigger. Grammar are us. Cajun always set a low goal just in case something happens. Like in 2021, the 2.5 weeks after your surgery, I read a lot less than I thought you would. Yeah. Well, I had such a banner year in 2023. I mean, seriously, double previous. And I absolutely attribute it to sprints and so forth. So this is, I would like to do kind of the same, but again, I don't want to push it. But I could maybe do 6 a month. And you can always change it too. Occasion course, then I had the 8 weeks to recover and made up. Oh, that's no fun though. No fun. All right. Death by Theft, a Josiah Reynolds mystery, number 19 in series by Abigail Keem, 176 pages. Again, sorry for the scrolling, but see that came out in October. They tried to sneak one in on us. Scrolling is our game. There's January 1st. All right. Murder on the Ballot, Book 6 by Hadley K. Knox in the Blue Lake Cozy Murder Mysteries. Polls are open and murder gets a vote. When everyone has a secret, who can you trust? Summer is back in beautiful Blue Lake in the Adirondack Mountains, where former NYPD forensics expert Celia Strong and her daughter Katie have settled into a new life in Blue Lake Village, where Celia owns Ye Old Ice Cream Shop. 4 candidates are running for town supervisor in a heated race. One received an anonymous note. "It was you, and I have proof." When Celia and her friends from the block agree to investigate, the trail leads to deception, intrigue, and finally, murder. Can Celia and co. untangle a web of lies to catch a killer before it's too late? Meanwhile, Celia confronts the man responsible for the murder of her NYPD detective husband. A forged painting, a gangster's wife, and a compromising photograph all come into play. Who is the mysterious Mr. White? What will happen when they finally meet to face? There's a lot of stuff going on there. And that's only book 6. However, I'm kind of intrigued. I agree. Sprints and penny reads and readathons really help. They do. And sorry, grabbing my coffee. I also am glad that I've done the scavenger hunts on Killing Cozies because I try to look for new things and typically first in series, and I have found some books I would never have otherwise. So Like I say, 2023 was a good year for reading. Not a great year for working, but a good year for reading. Conked Out, which is what I think a lot of people are doing today, by Wendy Nugent, first in a Key West mystery. 249 pages. Double checking. Oh, came out in November. It was nice to meet you. Moving on. Murder All Sewn Up by Sherry Ritchie. 367 pages. Ah, we're good. And this is first in a carom seed cozy. Murder All Sewn Up. When murder is the thread holding together costumes for the community play, Peggy can't avoid the gossip or the orphan pup under her feet. Running the carom seed craft corner on Fennel Street in Spicetown should be enough for one person, but Peggy Conkran spends her spare time volunteering to make costumes for the town play at the Spicetown Community Center. When a costume she made over 20 years ago resurfaces, so do the details of the prior drama teacher's death, and Police Chief Conrad Harris can't ignore the questions. Finding a puppy in the alley behind the store gets under her feet and into her heart, even before the murder is all sewn up. That's the second puppy. Are we going to go for a bingo? T.A. Williams, books 1 through 3. Kindle Unlimited. 746 pages, so well worth. Came out. All right, well, look, we got time today. This is the first 3 books in the Armstrong and Oscar Cozy Mystery Series: Murder in Tuscany, Murder in Chianti, and Murder in Florence. Murder in Tuscany. Nestled high in the Tuscan hills lies Villa Valpone, home to renowned crime writer Jonah Moore and his creative writing course. It's also the last place retired DCI Dan Armstrong expected to spend his retirement. I have read this, or I've not the book, but I've checked out this book individually before because that sounds very familiar. Dan's no writer, but maybe this break will help him to think about the next chapter in his own life story. But only days into the course, Jonah Moore is found stabbed to death with his award-winning silver dagger, and Dan finds himself pulled out of retirement with a killer to catch. In Murder in Chianti, when millionaire magnate Rex Hunter is found with his head bashed in on the 8th hole of his prestigious golf course and country club in beautiful Chianti, it's a clear case of murder. Genius. Hunter was rich and successful and the envy of many, so retired DCI Dan Armstrong and his trusty Labrador sidekick Oscar have an endless list of suspects and motives. Dan is determined to catch this clever killer, but it seems every new lead brings another dead end. Will this be one case Dan and his canine companion won't solve? And Murder in Florence. Life as a private investigator in the suburbs of Florence isn't always as glamorous as Dan Armstrong imagined it to be, until he is asked to investigate a recent spate of violent attacks on a Hollywood movie set in Florence. The star of the show, movie star royalty Selena Gardner, fears her life is in imminent danger. As Dan investigates, he discovers secrets and scandals are rife within the cast and crew, but with no actual murder, Dan believes these attacks could simply be warnings to someone until the first body is found. So, if you want to do some Italian mysteries, do some armchair traveling detective work, oh, there you be. These are coming out tomorrow, Tuesday, official day. Frost and Felony by Tammy Beck, second in Mysteries a la Mode. 191 pages. It is coming out tomorrow. Ugh, I could have seen over here. In the quaint town of Harmony Bay, the new year heralds a frosty adventure for Frances de Marais, Harmony Bay's beloved baker with a flair for solving mysteries. As Frances unveils her winter wonderland baking class to bring warmth to the chilly season, an unexpected winter storm sweeps through, blanketing the town in snow and secrets. I hate it when winter storms bring secrets. Amid the icy chaos, a shocking discovery sends shivers down the spines of Harmony Bay's residents. A renowned local ice sculptor known for his frosty creations is found dead, entombed in his own icy masterpiece. Well, that would suck. With the storm trapping everyone in a snowy embrace, Frances, aided by Isaac Fulton, her enigmatic ally, finds herself sifting through a blizzard of clues. The deeper they dig, the more they uncover hidden layers of deception, frostbitten grudges, and a cold truth that has lurked beneath the town's serene surface. As the winter storm intensifies, so does the danger. Frances must use her culinary expertise and newly honed detective skills to unravel this icy enigma. She needs her culinary expertise to unravel this. Each clue brings her closer to a killer who is as ruthless as the storm raging outside. With time running out and the threat of another icy casualty looming, Frances and Isaac race against the clock. We're getting a lot of compilations here. Haunted Haven 1 through 3. 652 pages, so again, more bang for your buck. This came out in December. We're not going backwards. It's a new month. There must be a new Kathy Daly book in a Bay series, says the one who reads all the Bay series. That's okay. I'm that way with JD Robb. There is a new JD Robb next week. Coffee was required, which makes me very happy. Wedding Blitz. Fun and quirky cozy mystery. This is number 11 in the Silver Hills Cozy Mysteries by Sam Cheever. 183 pages. Come to Silver Hills, where nothing is impervious to murder and chaos, even a long-awaited wedding. Agnes and Hertz are finally getting married. It would be nice to report that all was going to go as planned. Unfortunately, we're dealing with Flo and Co. and their propensity for finding bodies everywhere they go. These nuptials might be noxious. The wedding may be weird. The marriage could be murderous. Will a little thing like a wedding dress and 300 guests deter the fearsome foursome from launching an investigation into the problem? If you believe that, you haven't been paying attention. Oh God. Kathy Daly. There it is. The Resort at Castaway Bay. Fact or Fantasy. Book 9 in The Resort at Castaway Bay. 154 pages. A forensic psychologist working for the FBI moves to Shipwreck Island and renews her relationship with her sister's aunt, best friend, and old flame. While on the island, she's introduced to Ezra Reinhold, a reclusive billionaire who enjoys poking around in cold cases and has the means to hire the best people to find the answers no one else has been able to. In book 9 of the series, Sydney goes with Emily to visit Beverly in the rehabilitation hospital she has been moved to. While they are there, Sid meets a woman suffering from a brain disorder following an injury to the head. The woman is able to speak, but what she says seems like nothing but gibberish. While her speech pattern is completely disorganized, they threw a P in there, disorganized, she seems alert. So Sid sits with her in the garden while Emily is meeting with Beverly's doctor and politely listens to what she says. The longer Sid sits there, the more certain she is that there are patterns contained within the babbling. She begins to ask the woman questions, and while the answers are as disorganized as anything the woman has said to that point, Sid begins to suspect that the woman may actually have been a witness to a murder her FBI team had investigated but had been unable to solve. And it is Kindle Unlimited. And it sounds like, Cajun, you are recommending that series. Krista Davis. There's another big name. Tuesday, the big names come out. Dog Across the Lake. Ninth in the Paws and Claws Mysteries by Krista Davis. Holly and Trixie meet a strange new dog in Wagtail that leads them right into murder. Holly Miller is looking forward to finally taking a few days to relax. Enjoying an early morning on her terrace, she spots an unfamiliar reddish gold pooch across the lake. She's intrigued, but never expects to find the very same dog smiling at her in bed when she wakes up the next morning. The jokes. Trixie and Twinkletoes appear to accept this cute stranger, but Holly doesn't know to whom he belongs. Alma thinks the dog looks familiar, and it turns out the wayward pooch belongs to Holly's cousin Josh. Holly knew her cousin well as a child, but she hasn't seen him in over a decade. He's camping with his girlfriend across the lake. Holly returns the cute dog to Josh's campsite twice, but the second time, Josh and his girlfriend are nowhere to be found. Instead, a guest of the Sugar Maple Inn is dead in their tent. Now it's up to Holly and Trixie to suss out a sneaky killer. There's something about magic. By Lily Harper Hart, fifth in the Return to Magic Cozy Mysteries, 235 pages. The day Ivy Morgan Harker has been dreading is here, and the one she helped send to prison is back in Shadow Lake, and she's not acting like herself. Ava Moffat returns to town just in time to be swept up in the death of a local woman who had no ties to the area before recently taking over the hardware shop with her husband. Poison is the cause of death, but who doled it out? If the death wasn't bad enough, Ivy and her husband Jack have another problem. It seems their daughter Olive is sensing things that Ivy herself can't see, which means Shadow Lake's top witch might be falling behind. Ivy wants nothing more than to live a happy life and help her friends. Ava's revenge might make that impossible, though. Prepare yourselves, because Ivy's past is threatening her future, and this just might be the one she can't win. You like the resort at Castaway Bay, but you like the Holiday Bay and Gooseberry Bay better. But it is Lee's favorite of the three. Oh, really? Okay. We got the joke, and you never had to say it. Because you guys we're on the same wavelength. I like this about you. Again, we can't click on this one. This one is by Kelly Hashway. The road to conviction is paved with good intuitions. Piper Ashwell, Psychic PI number 21. Long title, but it's cute. Next one, The Pierogi Peril by Jerry Crota. A Kielbasa Queen Mystery, book number 2. Lydia Winuski has opened her Polish-American cafe and bakery on the shore of Lake Erie, but her idyllic new venture is shattered when the low tide leads to a terrible discovery. July 1982. Lydia Winuski's dream has finally come true. Lydia's Lakeside Cafe and Bakery, selling delicious Polish-American fare on the shore of Lake Erie, is now open, and her fortunes are looking up. Even her old nemesis and tutor, the irascible Madame Delphine, has made time to sample Lydia's delectable pierogi with some of her students in tow. But when Lydia finds Madame Delphine dead in the water, got an eyelash, it just keeps bugging me. Her lakeside dream turns into a nightmare. Was it a bizarre suicide or brutal murder? As Lydia and Grandma Mary investigate, they discover that there was more to Madame Delphine than meets the eye, and quickly find themselves drawn into an increasingly perilous situation. Can they uncover the truth about Madame Delphine's untimely death? Second in the series. Witching on the Job by Amanda M. Lee. This is 13th in the Moonstone Bay Cozy Mystery Series, 303 pages. Hadley Hunter came to Moonstone Bay to find herself. That included finding her passion in life. She just didn't think it would involve becoming mayor. She has no qualifications other than being a powerful witch. Half the town is rooting against her. The other half is just sitting back to see what happens. Only a handful of people are rooting for her, but they're the only ones who matter. When a body appears on the beach, one that's been stabbed in the back and surrounded by curse runes in blood, Hadley finds her attention split. She might be the new mayor, but she's also interested in what killed a former member of the power-hungry DDA. The investigation involves old grudges, hidden files, a new witch in town, and the island's biggest secret. Hadley isn't ready for any of it, but she's not going to have a choice. Someone on the island is trying to keep dark information from coming to light, and it's going to put them all in danger. So brace yourselves, because the new mayor is about to face a very old problem. Can she solve the case and keep the island safe? That's anybody's guess, but the odds are stacked against her. May the odds be ever in your favor. A crust to die for. We're just going to muscle all through these today. I'm keeping an eye on the clock, but we're going to get through these because Friday we're going to talk more about the midwinter historical mystery readathon. So I want to get through, and we've got the time. Crust to Die For by Tony Lo Tempio, a Tiffany Austin food blogger mystery. The Bon Appetempting Pizza Bake-Off has the small town of Branson, Georgia buzzing, not least its organizer, Southern Styles food critic and blogger Tiffany Austin. But right before the finals, one of the celebrity judges falls ill, and to Tiffany's horror, the magazine replaces him with none other than handsome TV star and restaurateur Bartholomew Driscoll. Tiffany once gave his restaurant a poor review, and she's convinced he's only accepted the job to get revenge. She fully expects Driscoll will find a way to ruin the contest, but she definitely doesn't expect to trip over his dead body backstage. Soon it's clear Tiffany wasn't the only person who had less than positive feelings toward the sharp-tongued Driscoll. She's surrounded by suspects, but which of the motley crew of contestants, family members, and scorned friends and colleagues had the guts to commit murder? With the help of her BFF Hillary, an unknowingly handsome detective Bartell, and with Cat Lily and puppy Cooper as emotional support, Tiffany investigates, only to discover that revenge is indeed a dish best served cold. Hi, Annalise. Happy New Year. Well, I'm off today, so I started later and going longer. Did you have fun? Hi, Annalise. For just a bit there, I was watching two YouTube channels at once talking about multitasking because you're good and bad. These covers are different. Well, a series set in Georgia, I always try to figure out where it's supposed to be, a fictional town, and if they get things right. I do not read mystery set in Montana. It's just too painful. The Shelved Shocker by Mel Morgan. 12th in the Secondhand Sleuth Mysteries. 85 pages. We'll look at it. What could be better than reading a one-of-a-kind mystery novel on a cold winter night? How about finding out it's actually evidence of a murder? The manuscript for Murder in Walnut Cove is even more entertaining than Jessica Braun expected it would be when she rescued it from storage. But it isn't just a thrilling tale of intrigue and criminal behavior. Some of the characters bear an unlikely resemblance. B-A-R-E. An unlikely resemblance to real people, and the town in the book sounds awfully familiar. Sharing news of the story stirs up a hornet's nest of trouble with Jessica right in the middle, leaving her to wonder how much of the unpublished work is fact and how much is fiction. Is there a chance the crime in the story was real? Which reminds me, was it Randy on Thunder Horse Descendant that mentioned the cold case kit via Etsy to solve a crime? They give you a folder of stuff. I got one. I haven't done it yet, but I thought that was interesting. Charlene Harris is still mad for destroying Atlanta geography or a tea garden series. Maybe 85 pages is good, like practice. Yeah, that is a very good point. A real cold case? No, I think it's they might have borrowed things from. Let me bring it up here. Uh, it's through Fox Box Detectives. They're in the UK. Um, and they send you this file of pictures and reports. Yeah, kind of looks like that. Oh, you can go online too. Yeah, thought I'd give it a shot. Let us know how you do with the cold case. It'll be fun to hear about it. I think you will solve it. I don't know. That's so cool. That looks fun. Yes, let us know what you think. I will. I only got it Thursday, and it's been kind of busy, so I haven't had a chance to really go through it. I wonder if police departments will start yamming green. Well, only if it pays well. Let us know how it goes. Absolutely. All right, then. Back to business. Fine Points Are Sketchy. A quilting cozy mystery by Catherine Michael. 7th, I believe. This is 120 pages. Who knew quilting was so dangerous? Olivia Liv Taylor is on a lukewarm case, the murder of famous quilting instructor and author Terry Van Bosch. This social media influencer is out to make a name for herself and her club, the Catch a Killer Club, even if no one else is available to assist. On her first solo mission, Liv utilizes every tool in her arsenal, including the Mystery Book Nook, an online forum to pull on every thread and needle all the details while dining in cozy New England restaurants. Will Liv pin down the culprit, or will the murderer remain unbound? That's, I guess, the way to do it. Go to restaurants and solve it that way. Brood in Betrayal comes out in February. They tried to sneak another one in. Can't click on it. This says Masquerade Mayhem Can Be Deadly. A Bucket List by Ryan Rivers. The Haunted Fire by J.A. Whiting, 17th in a Lynn Coffin mystery series, 197 pages. Came out in October. We're hitting a string now. Feel like I'm rolling dice. Yes! All right. That's an interesting cover. The Whispering Bones, an utterly addictive, cozy murder mystery, third in the Murder Well Mysteries by B.G. Wood. Return to Maidenwell, where digging up the past can be murder. In the quaint Oregon village of Maidenwell, Gina Belletti's life takes an unexpected turn when human bones are unearthed at a construction site. This chilling discovery resurrects old stories about the Yichi cult, which had occupied the village during the late 1980s. The cult was not only tied to some still unsolved crimes, but was also rumored to be on the hunt for a gabled Gold Rush era treasure. Charged by her secretive boss, Matthias Lomscomb, with unearthing the truth about the bones before the media starts sniffing around, Gina once again finds herself thrust into the role of amateur sleuth. Yet, as she digs deeper, it's clear that the treasure the Yichi were after is more than mere legend, and that someone is willing to kill for it. Can Gina solve the mystery before the whispers of the past demand her silence permanently? Yes. And then on Wednesday, just one book. Monsieur Moonlight. Okay, sounds like a stripper. By Lisa McClendon. She's a name in mysteries. 256 pages. In the 19th, in the Bennett sisters mysteries. For American Merle Bennett and her French partner Pascal Danscon, life in rural France is the perfect jumping off point for adventure, intrigue, and romance. Life at the vineyard of Chateau de Corbeau should be quiet and calm in early spring in the Dordogne, but a series of events at Pascal's office and at the chateau itself make it a chaotic time. Government bureaucrats search the house for looting antiquities, and one of Pascal's co-workers dies suddenly after berating the mild-mannered office clerk. And Merle thought keeping baby chicks alive would be her only problem this spring. Dual mysteries keep Merle and Pascal on their toes, especially the arrival of an unwelcome relative whose habits are more than annoying. When will he leave? Why is he here? How can Pascal get rid of Monsieur Moulette? It's so good. Like cool projects. Eh, I don't have kids. The toys can be for me. On the 4th, which is Thursday. Good thing we had extra time today. Callahan on the Case by Rebecca Barrett, first of the Cat Callahan mysteries. Cat Callahan, the big gray cat with the battered right ear, takes up with a drifter named Daxter, Dax for short, hobo by choice. And it's within days after Dax arrives that the murders begin, but Callahan knows how to be in the right place at the right time to gather clues and provide his own special brand of assistance. The cops may be a little slow on the uptake, but Cat Callahan is on the case. It's a cat solving mystery. Hannah Sanderson is assistant director of the Little White House Museum, the property beloved by Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the major tourist attraction in Warm Springs. When the body of a stranger shows up in the former servants' quarters, Hannah's job is twofold: assist with the investigation so the whole mess can be cleared up quickly, and protect her young daughter from the prying eyes of the press, because there's a secret hidden in her own past and Hannah doesn't want to relive the nightmare. As the deaths begin to escalate, law enforcement shows up from several jurisdictions. It's beginning to look like the cases won't be solved quietly, but Callahan knows how to be in the right place at the right time to gather clues and provide his own special brand of assistance. Not my cuppa, but it's somebody's cuppa. Hexes and Homicide by Lacey Flax, 162 pages, Kindle Unlimited, Book 1 of Hexes and Homicide. It's a bad time to be a witch in New York. When several witches are murdered, Sylvia Stewart worries a witch hunter is on the loose in the city. After the handsome Detective Malone shows up at her aunt's shop to question her about the murders, she considers telling him what she knows, that the victims are all witches. But telling an outsider about magic would be a betrayal of her community. When the attacker targets one of her friends, a fellow dancer at the speakeasy where she works, Sylvia resolves to take action. Join Sylvia Malone as they look for the killer in this cozy mystery with a dust of magic set in the glamorous and dangerous era of the 1920s. When I was at my stepmother's, and I love her, and we had a lot of fun together and with her friends, it occurred to me people infringe on reading time. Absolutely. That's why I'm antisocial. Murder by Candlelight by Faith Martin. Yeah, there's a whole sentence here. First in a new series, 291 pages, that's good. The Cotswolds, 1924. At the old forge in the quiet village of Mayberry in the Marsh, a cry of anguish rings out. Lady of the house, Amy Phelps, has been discovered dead, but with all the windows and doors to her room locked from inside, how and by whom was she killed? Arbuthnot, R.B. Swift, finds himself in the unlikely position of detective. The celebrated author of The Gentleman's Guide to Ghost Hunting is staying at the old forge to investigate a suspected specter. But now the more pressing matter of Amy's murder falls to him too. Why? With an old friend, Val, he soon uncovers a sorry tale of altered wills, secret love affairs, and tragic losses, and plenty of motives for murder. When events take another sinister turn, RB must find the killer fast, and to do so will mean tracking a most perfectly plotted crime. That was Murder by Candlelight. And then on Friday, I'm just planning your week for you. It's okay. The Rookie Witch by Kelly Mason, first in the Cotswolds Coven series. This came out in December. Oh, we're getting a string of them. This was also December. Sit, stay, stalk. That's February. Oof. There we go. The Body in the Elevator, fifth in the Sunset Lodge Mysteries by Diana Zarissa. Abigail Clark and her boyfriend Mark Cooper are hoping for a romantic dinner together at one of Nightshade's fanciest restaurants. What they get is front row seats for a huge drama at the table next to theirs. Spencer Manning's retirement celebration quickly turns into an enormous family argument, and Mark and Abigail get to hear every word. Someone else in the restaurant records every awful moment and puts it up online, giving the entire world a chance to watch the fight. The footage takes on new significance, though, when Mark and Abigail find Spencer dead in the elevator just outside the restaurant. Abigail doesn't want any part in the subsequent murder investigation, but she finds herself dragged into it as first one and then another of the suspects decides to move into Sunset Lodge to hide away from a town full of people who've all seen the video. When it seems as if everyone who knew Spencer is better off with him dead, finding the killer is going to be difficult. Indeed. And on Saturday, when the clock strikes backwards, 12th in The Ghosts of Landover Mysteries by Etta Fair. Time is running out in Landover. There wasn't a storm in sight when three lighthouse keepers disappeared on August 9th, 1930. The only clues left behind were an overturned chair, their half-eaten dinner, and three mangy blackbirds. Now, almost 100 years later, the great-grandson of one of those lighthouse keepers has come to medium detective Carly Taylor with a problem. The clock he inherited from that very lighthouse only ticks backwards instead of reaching midnight. He's been told the clock is haunted, but he's also someone who doesn't think he should have to pay Carly and her boss for a clock exorcism done by a couple of fruitcakes. Well, you went to them, buddy. There's only one problem. Carly knows she has to take this case, paid or not. Because the more she channels with the lighthouse keeper's ghost and the closer she gets to figuring out what happened that night, the more she knows for certain this case involves the curse on Landover, and time is definitely running out for all of them. Tick tock. A Story to Strangle For by Evie Hunter. Fourth in the Hopgood Hall Murder Mysteries. With its reputation in tatters, Alexi Ellis is determined to save her beloved Hopgood Hall from any more bad press. A writing course for wannabe journalists shouldn't cause too many issues and will hopefully take the heat off Hopgood Hall, a shocking death. But disaster strikes when one of the group is found dead in a local pub. What's worse, Alexi was the last person to see the victim alive, which makes her suspect number one. A case too close to home? Alexi is sure she's being set up, but who would go to such deadly lengths? With her reputation and liberty on the line, this is a case Alexi, Jack, and Cosmo can't afford to leave unsolved. All right, that was it. Woofa! You guys made it. Good for you. Let's do this. There we go. That one sounds like the lighthouse component. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? You did it. No small feat. Woohoo! A week's worth in one day. Well, I appreciate you guys sticking it out very much. No sprints tonight from me. I think is it Storm or is it Lee's turn this today? I can't remember. I think it's Lee at Dark Roots Creations. Otherwise, I have sprints tomorrow night at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. I hope you enjoy your New Year's Day. I hope it is relaxing, restful, beautiful. Eat and drink good things. I think there's a nap in my future, and another walk with Keo. But I appreciate you guys so much, and you've made my 2023 such a fabulous year, and I am hopeful and very confident 2024 will be even better, and it's because of you guys. So thank you very much. As the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom, nom, nom. Thank you. God bless.